Okay, this story is
Your story is crazy.
crazy.
All right.
George's gonna say this is another psyop.
He might be right. I mean, and this is
I'm
the dude.
not disagreeing with him.
Wait, hold on. This is the dude here, the one who did it. I don't know how I forgot to show the picture, but yeah. One of the more craziest stories. And I was gonna say this was gonna be the craziest story until you brought up the Oklahoma situation. That was
No, this is still a crazy
But that's
story.
crazier.
For black people, we care more about this than we give a
obviously.
damn about some white dude
pedophile. I mean,
doing what he
rapist,
had to do
pedophile,
with his
whatever. Yeah.
people.
Shocking video shows NYC subway passenger putting unhinged. That's how New York Post quoted it. Unhinged man in deadly chokehold. A lot of stuff to say about this. A lot of things happened. Let me go ahead and show this. Dramatic new video shows a strap hanger taking matters into his own hands, putting down an unhinged man in a deadly incident at the Manhattan subway station this week. Now, keep in mind, in New York, California, Washington, a lot of places in America, there's a big, there's a negative connotation on homeless people right now. Homeless people are getting, they're getting a bad rap, regardless if you believe they deserve it or not. In a lot of cities in America, homeless people are the #1 target when it comes to political matters and politics. A lot of people saying, we want you to get the homeless people out of here. We need to fix the situation, do something with these homeless people. So keep in mind when you hear that, it's no surprise when they talk a certain way about Jordan Neely, which is the guy who was choked to death.
This story is bizarre and sad. Black men getting lynched.
It's no surprise that they're talking about him the way they're talking about him. One, because he's black, and two, he's homeless, or said to be homeless. The 24-year-old passenger stepped into the vagrant, identified by sources as Jordan Neely, 30, began going on an aggressive rant on the northbound F train Monday afternoon.
Nothing to see here, people. Carry on.
According to police and the witness who took the video, he starts to make a speech. Freelance journalist Juan Alberto Valquez said in Spanish during an interview Tuesday, referring to this third man. He started screaming in an aggressive manner. He said he had no food, he had no drink, that he was tired and doesn't care if he goes to jail. He started screaming all of these things, looking off his took off his jacket, a black jacket that he had, and threw it on the ground. Then when he said the strap hanger came up behind Neely and took him to the ground with a chokehold, keep him there for 15 minutes, Valquez said. The approximate 3.5-minute long video shot by Valquez shows the blonde subway rider lying on the floor in the train with his arms wrapped around the man's neck. The train was stopped with the doors open at the Broadway Becker Street station, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to show that. So basically, they choked him.
So George said, I need to see the whole video. I don't need to see the whole video.
Want to see the whole
it's
video.
Enough. I don't think anybody should be held down for 15 minutes to calm them down.
The crazy part is, not only was he choking him, you had other passengers that came up to him and stopped him from choking him. Because, you know, when somebody choke you, your first instinct is to take your hands, put it around their forearm, and pull it away from your neck. They were stopping him from doing that, which means they are accessories to this. They are complicit. They are a part of his death.
Regina said, why is the chokehold the go-to for next to guns for white guys? They're paying big money on the homeless, and if in charge of fixing the problem, you're getting rich. Brindley Flawed, normal NY subway day. Look at his records of 40 arrests. Assaulted 62 women, punched her in the face, bruised nose, messed eye.
I'm one of those people. Okay, now James, if someone's history dictates how you handle them in the present, then a lot of people can get put to death by. If you're okay with vigilante, you're okay with them taking matters into their own hands and killing people, then America's about to turn to the wild, wild west. Because the same way that dude in Oklahoma decided to kill those 7 people, what if somebody found out he was had a crime of that and decided to go up and kill him on their own?
He said no, the other 2 were holding him down too.
That's what I just said. They were holding him, stopping him from taking the dude's forearm away from his neck.
I think your master had intent to kill him. No doubt about it that your master had intent to kill him, George. That's why I need to see the video.
Homeless subway chokehold victim Jordan Neely became complete mess after mom was brutally murdered by stepfather. That's what aunt said. Now, according to them, I think when he was in his teenage years, his mother was killed by her boyfriend, and she was found decapitated.
Agree, Regina. All involved should be charged with the murder.
He was found. His mother was found decapitated and such, and it led to him having to testify against his mother's boyfriend who killed his mother. So that's part of the mental health part that come a part of it. I'm sure going through something that traumatic would lead you in life to have, not the best decision making.
So his father is not present in his life, or?
I would imagine not. But who knows?
Yeah, Regina, but the only black witness would get charged. I think this was a lose-lose situation. Lose-lose situation.
I don't think so. I think they could have put him in the full Nelson. You didn't have to choke him. You could have put him in the Nelson.
We live in Seattle, Washington, but however, I take Metro sometimes. I've seen far worse shit than that happen on the Metro, and I ain't seen nobody get up and choke the shit out of somebody till they died.
And another thing they keep saying is it's a normal day in New York. We heard that from people from New York saying it's normal to get on the train and see people acting erratic and behavior and stuff and such.
But a witness said he was threatening passengers. Okay, it's a difference between threatening passengers and actually carrying out a threat, though.
And New York isn't like other states that have what they call the stand your ground law, which is not a real name of the law. In New York, you can't just kill somebody because they threaten you. That's not how New York works.
And look at the dude. He's not a big dude.
Yeah.
He's small in stature. Agree, Regina. Wasting on He had attacked someone on the train and hurt them. They would have been pissed off. They wouldn't have been that pissed that no one stopped him.
If he did end up attacking somebody, people would have been mad and nobody did nothing to stop him from attacking him. Well, I didn't say they couldn't. If he was actually threatening someone, I didn't say that they shouldn't have held him down or something. The difference is you didn't have to choke. It's
a difference between choking someone until they died and knocking the shit out of somebody. Yeah, that's two different things.
Even if you beat his ass, that's
exactly.
That's different.
That's totally different. That's the extreme to hold somebody for 15 minutes and choke the shit out of them until they die. And not only do you have one motherfucker choking you, you got somebody else holding your hands.
Yeah, so you can't.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So this way, I want to show this. Who is Connor Surgeon? This is the Louisville bank shooter. And I'm just showing obviously the headlines.
People just standing around filming this stuff now. That's what they do.
That's what they've been doing. That's a new era.
Me, the Travis, folks during the obnoxious behavior of some homeless people.
Exactly.
It's crazy how you know what? Get his ass on the buses up here with these white motherfuckers out here smoking meth on the buses. We need them. Urgent.
Now, it turns out, because when this story first happened, the first thing everybody heard of,
he said, but he would not calm down. So you hold him down. That don't mean you got to choke him.
Hold on. Once again, we didn't say not to beat his ass.
Oh, man.
We said you don't have to kill him.
There's no justification for them killing him the way they did. There's no justification for it.
And with his prior incidents where you say he was attacking people in the public, that's once again, no one's saying don't beat his ass.
He tried to push someone onto the tracks the day before.
Nah, hold on.
You know what? He should be locked up or put in a mental institute.
I saw that and they said that story was false. I don't know if that's true.
Los Angeles is a normal day. Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
I saw people saying,
I'll be quiet.
I saw people saying that a lot of these videos that a lot of white people, I'm not saying it was just white people, they were posting videos of homeless people committing acts of violence on trains. They showed a dude pushing a woman to a train that was not him. They showed another dude beating up a woman that was not him. That was a whole other incident that happened. So a lot of those videos that people are saying was him was not him. But it also turns out that he was a dancer. He was a Michael Jackson impersonator. And so that led to people feeling like he was being more humanized, other than when it first started, the first thing we heard about was 40 arrests. And he was abusive, he was attacking people in public and all this other stuff. And it says here, at the time of New York City, if you wanted to see Michael Jackson, you look for Jordan Neely. Even among the performers in Times Square who get every high-pitched hee-hee right and moonwalk seamlessly, Neely was exceptional. He's actually famous here. YouTuber and Jackson fan Gadget Trish said about Neely on May 3rd, 2 days after he was killed by another passenger on the F train. Moses Harper called him more than an impersonator. He was a tribute artist. Let me show this. This was him. I'm not going to play the music. They've shown that he was a street dancer. Do I need that one? No. I do want to show this one, though. Tell me what you think about what she has to say. Hold on.
We begin with the growing protest over the death of Jordan Neely. He was killed Monday after he boarded a New York City subway train. He reportedly started yelling and threatening passengers. A man identified as a former Marine tackled him and put him in a chokehold. Neely later was pronounced dead. Investigators have ruled it a homicide. And while there's an ongoing investigation, we're still trying to gather those facts. Some people have already made up their minds. Angry protesters, they took to the streets last night, demanding justice or else.
What do we want? Justice. What do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, burn it down. Yeah, if we don't get it, burn it down.
Justice or they'll burn it down. Well, at least they have rhythm. Meantime,
that's just a white bitch being a typical white bitch. That's what that is. I don't fuck with her on Fox News. No way.
She said, at least they have rhythm. And we're going to get to that
his
mystery
father
man.
is a retired NYC cop.
Yeah.
Wow.
His father is a cop.
Whose father is? Oh, yeah, the guy that killed him.
Yeah. He's a
Y'all
cop.
know this vigilantes aren't helping, but are also killing black men. Yes, man, that doesn't save him.
And let me show this right quick. Now, they are, once again, they're using this as a... they're using the death of Jordan Neely as another to bring up the topic of homelessness. Now, what they call the progressives in politics, they've been calling themselves the defenders of the homeless people. They're trying to make this about him being homeless.
He just go ahead and read. He just aligned perfectly what you about to probably talk about.
Who?
Bring the fly. New case this year. Can't y'all see? They generate a public black killing yearly. Energy vampires. That's exactly what AOC is.
It's funny you said that, Britt. We say it all the time. It's energy. They love using the black man's energy in especially in his death, for their political movements and social movements they got going on. Whenever they want to put something political or social, normally it's on the back of some black man's death.
The white dude is homeless too.
So the Marine is homeless too?
Oh Lord, here we go.
Jordan Neely was murdered, but because Jordan was houseless and crying for food at the time when the city was raising tents and stripping services of militarized itself, while many in power demonize the poor, the murderer gets protected with passive headlines and no charges. It's disgusting. So we know why she got involved in this, because
she had to stick her teeth in this conversation.
You see here it says medical examiner rules Jordan Neely's death a homicide after subway chokehold. We didn't really need this. We already knew he died at the hands of somebody. The debate people are having is, was it justified as far as him defending himself?
It's not justified.
Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old Marine vet, is the man seen choking Jordan Neely in the subway death. Now, it took about 3 days or so for his name to actually be released. And I think it started because an article written by New York Post, I believe, they accidentally, it could have been an accident because somebody had to look over it, proofread it, but they put his last name in the article, and people went into their research and found him. Let me just show this one. Oh, y'all. Hold on. And his attorneys released a statement. Let me read a statement that Daniel Penny released from his lawyers, or his attorneys, I'm sorry. The law firm of Rager and Kenneth PC represents Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old college student and Marine veteran. Earlier this week, Daniel was involved in a tragic incident in the New York subway, which ended in the death of Jordan Neely. We would first like to express on behalf of Daniel our condolences to those close to Mr. Neely. Mr. Neely had a documented history of violent and erratic behavior, the apparent result of ongoing and unrelated mental illness. When Mr. Neely began aggressively threatening Daniel and other passengers, Daniel, with the help of others, acted to protect themselves until help arrived. Daniel never intended to harm Mr. Neely and could have never foreseen his untimely death. For too long, those suffering from mental illness have been treated with indifference. We hope that out of the awful tragedy that will come a new commitment by our elected officials to address the mental health crisis on our streets and subway. So his press release was more about the mental health situation, and we see the other people in the politics making it about the homeless situation. And that's what they had to say. Hold on. What do you think about his press release?
Sorry, I had to go to the door. What'd you say?
What do you think about his press release?
Which one press release? Sorry, I didn't hear everything. I didn't hear everything. You saw me step away.
Yeah, he basically said it's unfortunate that he died. Gave condolences to the family, and then he said it was about they need the cities, the officials need to do something about helping people with mental illnesses in the streets.
So he's trying to take it off of his son.
Well, it wasn't. It's his son's. It's his lawyers, the attorneys.
No, his son killed somebody.
That's
what it ultimately boils down to.
This is his father, who is a colonel, chief inspector of New York State Police, retired. This already showed me why his name wasn't released at the beginning, and this is why when he was brought in, he was immediately let out because some of it had to do with his father being
a police officer.
I'm sure also
he's retired.
They also said they wanted to do a investigation. Now, I'm not gonna go too far into conspiracy.
Regina going down the conspiracy lane.
I know. What do y'all see when you see this picture? Now, keep in mind, Jordan is on the ground laying there. What do you see when you see a dude wearing a backpack with a hat on like that? Where I'm from, we see this. This is normally undercover cops that's dressed like this. Normally, when I see these people, when y'all see this, what do y'all see? Does this look like 3 random civilians that just so happen to be on the train and subdue the guy who they said was threatening them? Does that look like that to you?
No.
So, and also people pointing out
the African in the back.
What he got to do with it? But also there was a video that came out months ago.
Yeah.
In a store, there was a guy who was fighting somebody behind the counter. The black dude was fighting another black dude behind the counter who worked there. And another white dude worked there with the black dude. He came up behind the black dude who was attacking him, the customer, and he started choking him. And the black dude who worked there immediately was like, no, don't choke him. What you doing? So it was a difference in how it was handled then, because this guy was attacking him, and he was just like, let's just hold him down.
Feds. DJ's feds.
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Man, they look like terrorists.
When I saw this, I didn't see 3 civilians. This don't look like 3 civilians.
The chat is going down the conspiracy rabbit holes.
I just had to show that. We talked about it from the...
Looked like a Confederate Yankee soldier to me.
We talked about it from the two-dimensional perspective. Is it right or wrong? Was he threatening them? They have to protect themselves. How do you handle the situation, which can be complex? But on the end of the day, does this look like some shit? It actually happened the way they said it happened. But yeah, let's move on.